What is something that your generation did that no younger generation will ever get to experience? Experience the transition from dial-up to high-speed internet. Holy crap. It was amazing when my parents finally made the switch. I was sort of dumbfounded, like, so you're telling me all I need to do is click on Internet Explorer and I'm just magically on the internet? I was amazed when my family first got DSL. My reaction was essentially, so you're telling me I can be on the internet while someone else is on the phone? Mom, we need to go to Walmart so I can get another free sample of AOL. Record songs off the radio onto cassettes. My brothers and I used to sit around a cassette recorder and make our own fake morning radio shows. Like, alright. It's Minor 49er coming to you live, and you just heard Duran. Coming up next we got, quick. What cassette do we have? Warrant. With their new song, Heaven. Then we'd get a second tape player. Play the song next to the tape recorder and record it with really shitty quality. I think those tapes are still buried in my mom's house somewhere. One of these days, I should upload them onto SoundCloud for shits and giggles. My friend and I had a fake radio show in high school that featured us as hip-hop DJs and would probably win the Cringe Olympics if it was ever unearthed. Now you can relive that with your very own podcast. Roller skating as a mainstream activity. Large, dimly lit rink with smoke machines, lights, and a disco ball. Refreshments sold, including food, soft drinks, and even beer for the adults. An arcade section. Tons of people there, loud 80s synth pop, and everything was decorated in earth tones. My daughter just had a roller skating party. It's definitely not as popular as it was, but they're still around. One of her friends had a laser tag party. That was fucking awesome. I showed up with a bunch of other dads and their kids. The girl's mom was like, you guys can leave if you have stuff to do, or did you want to play with kids? Of course we want to play laser tag. The birthday girl got to pick teams, so she picked all her friends. We fucking slaughtered them. Edit, cool guys. My most upvoted comment and the loss of my Reddit silver virginity is about slaughtering children. Had the same experience, during which my brother-in-law turns to me and says, "There's just nothing like the feeling of hunting children." Downloading stuff for an hour, then getting cut off at 99% because some idiot decided to pick up the phone. It still catches me off guard sometimes how fast my broadband is. I see a 15 gigabytes update for a game and think that blows my plans for playing tonight, and then it's done in 10-15 minutes. And even crazier seeing how fast it could be. We have 500 megabits down / 250 up, and those 15 gigabytes are done in 4 minutes. With 1 gigabit it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes ... for 15 gigabytes. Edit. For those asking, I live in Luxembourg. Mentioned it further down the comment chain, I think. This is what our main ISP has to offer. We have some others that run on the same infrastructure. In the 90s I remember being excited I could download a 1 megabyte file in 10 minutes. My dad and I used to joke about being able to download such a file faster than the progress bar could render. Listening to you sister talking to her crush on the phone with the other wired phone. And periodically pressing the buttons on the phone to mess with them. This reminded me of this one time my parents wouldn't stop fighting. Brother and I huddled in the room sad and crying. Think I was 7. Brother called his best friend and asked him to prank call our house over and over again. Both my parents soon diverted their anger towards the mysterious prank caller and the fighting stopped. I envision that as a scene from Malcolm in the Middle. Brilliant move on your brother's part. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Ops brother. Watch MTV when it showed nothing but music videos, artist interviews and concert footage. Waiting through boy bands videos to watch a Korn video on Trail. and then them only playing like half the song because time constraints. And hearing even less of it because they'd have the shoutouts over top of it. I'm Katie from Ohio and I want to hear Korn because they are so awesome. Woo-oo. Burn a CD. I used to spend hours strategically picking 16-20 songs to listen in the car that month on my way to school. And then you'd get a CD burning error just as it was finishing and now you've wasted another CD. I don't remember how much they cost back then, but I remember it was painfully expensive to keep throwing them away when burning your own CDs was still a new thing. CDRs were around $10 a piece when they first came out. Dropped fairly quickly and stagnated a while around $2-3 each before the big spindles of 50 blank discs for 20 started appearing. That sounds familiar. I remember feeling so savvy when I invested in rewritable CDs. CDRW I think is what they were called. They were only $20 each but no risk of wasting them if something went wrong. There's a vague memory in my head of finding them a few years ago, most of them still wrapped in plastic, never used. Playground rumors, myths in video games. I feel like they still exist, but to a much smaller degree. Only thing from recent memory I can think of is Herobrine from Minecraft. But back in the day? Man, every game you played had like 6 rumors surrounding it. Secret codes, weapons, levels, you name it. Shit like Mew hiding under the truck in the old Pokemon games. The fabled code to make Lara Croft naked. Bigfoot hiding in the woods in GTA, San Andreas. The secret cow level from Diablo. The list goes on. I remember there was one in Pokemon R.S.E. where if you talk to the guy in Most Deep Space Research Center at some point there will be a celebratory rocket launch number 100. Once you hit 100 he will then ask if you want to ride and supposedly you should be able to battle, capture Jirachi or Deoxys. That was a good rumor, but unfortunately untrue. I spent many hours trying to get it to work as a kid. I was so fucking mad. Calling movie phone late at night so your friends could call you without your home phone ringing. Having to call your crush's home phone and their parents answering. Embarrassing bonus when you don't know they're a junior, so when you ask for them by name, you get a reply speaking. Not being able to use the phone while on the internet, purposely pissing your siblings off by picking up the phone while they're on the internet. Calling your parents from a payphone to come pick you up when your movie was over. I used to call my mom from a payphone and record my name as something like "pick me up at Mike's." She would deny it and come get me. Rewinding movies in the VCR. And then having a whole separate appliance to rewind them slightly faster. I worked at a video store and we had 2 super cool race car rewinders and I always enjoyed when there was a tape in both of them and it was like a race. And getting charged late fees if I forgot. Be kind, rewind. Thanks, Blockbuster. Being not available. Before mobile phones, if you wanted to talk to someone you had to find a landline, and hope they were actually in, or go round their house. Now, it's all instant messaging in its many forms, with the sender expecting an instant reply. On the same theme, I miss not having clearly defined working hours. Back then, if you wanted to talk to me about work stuff, you'd have to do it on Monday to Friday, 9 AM to 6 PM. Now, I get work emails and phone calls every day of the week, 24 hours a day. People seem to have lost that sense of boundary, and seem to think it's okay to pester me at 8 PM on a Sunday night. You can get a lot of that back by simply not answering. My wife and my mum are always top priority. Everyone else can wait. If I'm not on call for work, my work phone may not even be charged. I'm sure kids add a layer of complexity to that, but I'm not there yet. Kids just get added to the priority list. My priority list is my husband and dad. And, If my kids are at someone else's house, then that mom/dad/whoever is mostly in charge. Don't forget the thrill of seeing your kid's school pop up on the caller ID in the middle of the day.